Good afternoon, Brian with Grand Roofing. We're going to talk about the thermal cracking right here, what it can lead to, like the holes right there in the rotten decking if it goes unaddressed. You might look at this roof from the ground and be like, oh, my roof looks good. But without getting up here, you're not going to see things like this. We're going to talk about the Shingle brand, what I think it is, why I'm not a fan of it. Oh, by the way, this thermal cracking, it can happen to other brands too. It's not just the one I think this roof is. But I also brought up some shingles here. I went down to the truck because I got some on there. I want to talk a little bit about the basic terminology of shingles, how the pattern is, why it's supposed to be, and if it's not installed right, it's essentially going to lead to something like this, because yes, I have seen people do it. All right, I also apologize if you hear me coughing a little bit. I got a little bit of a cold. It's breezy out. It's November 30th or so, and I hate the weather. I hate the winter. All right, so let's get into it. So as I said, the shingle thermal cracking here, we're going to talk about that. You can see the gap here, how it's spaced apart, and the crack right above it, and the hole that it led to. It's actually all over the roof. If you look right here, there's another. You see a little crack, and the crack right above it. One shingle over, you got another one. It's not spaced so much here, but yep, there is another crack above it. There's also some glazing going on to this, some like little shingles that are fracturing. Anyways, so basically this shingle is so tightly bonded to this shingle, when these two expand and contract, not so much expand, but when they contract, pull apart, it leads to a crack. Like these two wanting to go their own direction, contract, contract, and it can't make up its mind. It can't break free, so it splits apart. Actually, it doesn't have a mind, but it cracks. Pardon me. I'm getting over a nasty cold and cough. All right, so I had these down the truck. It's Owen Corning Duration Sure Nail, my opinion, one of the better shingles out there. Got a repair to try to work in later, so I've got them. So we're going to use these as a little prop to show you, because I've had people comment. They don't quite understand what I'm talking about with the nail placement, the pattern, the offset, things like that. So we're going to talk about that. All right, so assuming your first row on the roof right here, and how it goes and why it goes like it does. The other shingle is going to come up next to it right here. Let me back the camera out, wide angle lens. There we go. You can see a little bit better. So right here on your first row, meaning this first row right down here, any bottom, you need to have a starter row under here. So it's going to be the piece that actually covers the first row of shingle. Some people flip a shingle upside down. I'm not a fan of that. I like using starter row because it has a seal strip. It's made for it. Comes up high enough. A couple reasons why I don't like full shingles upside down. One, it's a big no-no. People do this, and they want to use that as a starter row. Why that's so bad? Because that cellophane strip is actually manufactured onto the product, not for functionality of the roof. It's manufactured so when these are stacked in the package, they don't stick down to each other. Whoops, it goes this way. So in the package, now various brands might manufacture them and stack them differently, but where that sticky stuff is, that seal strip, hits the cellophane on the opposite side of the shingle. This shingle's sticky strip is going to hit that cellophane. All right, so you don't need to peel these off. It's not needed. Some people think that you need to peel them. No, I've talked about that in another video. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of that. But because of that, if they lay a shingle out, and I see this a lot, and they're doing that as their starter row, that will never stick. It'll always peel loose from this. You don't need to peel that off unless you install it wrong like that. All right, so now that's out of the way. You have a starter row under here. Wow, I apologize. I'll try to keep it to a minimum. Now your nail placement, you want to nail near the edge here, and you want to skip a section because your offset, it's going to be something about 5 or 6 inches or so. Check your package. All shingle manufacturers usually have the instructions right on the packaging for you. So you don't want to nail that area because water coming in this one could get down into those areas. Then your next row shingle, or your next course, when installed right, crosses that seam right here. Okay, it's covering it. This one is protected by the one under it, and so on and so forth all the way up. On that note, don't stagger, don't rack it in. Avoids most manufacturers' warranties. Old school 3-tab, yes, they did that. They'd crack 2 lines up 6 inches apart. Sometimes the 3-tab shingles would have a slit in it, and that would be your measurement for a half-tab pattern. Do not do that with manufacturer or dimensional shingles. Check your manufacturer warranties because I believe they will be voided. And it looks like crap. You look up a roof, you'll see it. So just don't do that. You continue that pattern all the way over till you get to your last tab and then start a new course. Now, what happens with that thermal cracking is essentially this right here. I have actually seen somebody install a roof like this all the way up, and another row all the way up. That's horrible because water coming in this shingle crack here goes right in that crack right there. Oh no. Okay, sorry. I accidentally tried to swipe a notification off and almost ended the video. So what's happening here, water's getting into this crack, getting into the headlap of this shingle here. So maybe I can kind of show you on this one. Imagine that shingle right there. This next one I lay is this one right here. And that shingle's crossing over. When it was so aggressively bonded, these two contracted and it split that shingle up above it. So water coming in this crack is now getting in the headlap of the shingle right below it. They're stuck so damn hard I can't pop this up to show you. Even with a flat bar, it's just aggressively sealed, and that's partially why this led to this. If it could expand and contract or have enough, I don't know, for lack of better words, a sticky goo, not solid, oxidized hard block of tar, it would roll, in a sense, both directions and not crack like this. Anyway, I've seen other brands do this. It's not just this. Now let's talk briefly about the brand. Oh, I think I talked about the nails. You don't want them in that area. Same reason for the keyway, water getting into it. Now, if you are a left-hand roofer and you run your field up this way, you want to avoid that area. Or on some gable ends where you have to cut your tab. Let's just show you that real quick. Now, these are here all over the place, too. You don't have to just, oh, he's lying. I mean, they're literally all over the place. Sam, they're not good. Not good. Not good at all. That'll lead to some bad, rotten decking everywhere. Trust me, they're everywhere. Nail placement on an end. So, right here's a piece, here's a piece. This was the last full tab right here. And at some point, you're going to need to cut a shingle in. So these are full right here. So this is the one they had to cut a tab into. You need to anticipate that as an installer and not have a nail in that area right there. You need to make sure, like, oh, okay, my last full shingle, my next one, I need to leave an area not to nail so you can cut a tab in. So just as an installer, be aware of that. If you're a salesman or a project manager, check that. Look at this right here. Yeah. That's, Anyway, yeah. If you're a project manager, wow, they did it again. Man, this has more than just a bad product. It got crappy installers. You don't throw a 6-inch or a 4-inch tab in like that. Now, the brand that I'm talking about here, yeah, it popped free pretty easy, actually. It's cold. This is appearing to be a TimberTex GAF roof. TimberTex Hip and Ridge. TimberTex is notorious for having that style, not the Sealer Ridge, but the older TimberTex. This piece here that's visible has that on there from the manufacturer. That's where they want you to shoot, and there's the seal strip for it. I'm pretty sure this is a GAF roof, and I'm not a fan of GAF for other reasons. Anyway, I'm here to inspect this to figure for an estimate. I did, but when I saw these cracks, I wanted to show you and bring these shingles up to hopefully point out some of the basics, the shingle terminology, where you nail, where you don't nail, the offset and the pattern and why. And I had them on the truck, so this cough will not go away. I hate this weather. It's cold. What is it? It's October 30th today, Halloween in a day or two. Today? Tomorrow? I don't know. But it's cold. It's brutal. We're at like freezing temperatures right now, so I'm putting a hold on the installs. Unless it's an emergency or really needs to get done. We're shifting into repair work. We're going to try to cut down a little bit this winter because I'm beat. This 2023 was crazy. All right, if you guys like this kind of content, let me know. I'm hoping with less installs and more repair work, I'll try to be able to shoot some more of it. That's the better performing stuff because I think there's a lot of DIY guys looking it up. So let me know what you like to see down below. I'm cold. I hate this day. I'm ready to go home. So until next time, be safe, and we'll see you on the next one.